Let's turn back the clock and let's go back to New Orleans in the 1800s for a terrible secret the socialite was hiding. It was the evening of October 6, 1834 in New Orleans, and a terrible secret was exposed at 1140 Royal Street, the home of socialite Delphine LaLaurie. That night, a kitchen fire broke out in this well-known mansion, and the flames quickly spread through parts of the house that had a long and unspeakable horror. Neighbors, alarmed by the blaze, gathered, and soon a bunch of citizens and police converged on the scene. The first concern was to put out the fire, but as they began to investigate the damage, the truth about what happened behind closed doors came to light. The investigation led the group upstairs, and when they reached the attic, they were met with a shocking sight: a hidden torture chamber. In that cramped and poorly lit space, evidence of a brutal mistreatment of enslaved people was laid in plain view for all to see. LaLaurie's cook, along with other enslaved individuals, were found bound and mutilated in a manner that was unmistakably deliberate. Their injuries and the condition in which they were found made it clear that these were not mere accidents or forms of harsh punishment. They were acts of calculated cruelty. Details from that grim discovery reveal that enslaved individuals had been locked away in a section of the mansion where isolation was guaranteed. The bindings were crude, and marks of repeated abuse marred their bodies, evidence of a prolonged suffering that was hidden from public view. The sight of these human beings, visibly scarred and left to endure the intense neglect and physical torment, sparked an immediate and deep rage in the assembling crowd. The mob's anger, fueled by shock at what they saw, shifted quickly from the blaze to the person who had ordered this inhumane treatment. That was Delphine LaLaurie. LaLaurie herself was a figure of high society in New Orleans, known for her elegant lifestyle and connections among the elite. Yet, behind the elegant facade of her social standing, there lay a dark and horrifying secret. As the mob demanded retribution, LaLaurie managed to vanish into the chaos. Accounts of that night differ. Some maintain that she fled New Orleans at once, disappearing into the night and leaving her fortune behind, while others suggested there was whispers of her presence that lingered in the darker, less traveled parts of the city for years after, as if she was a ghost evading justice. After she escaped, the mansion at 1140 Royal Street began a slow transformation from merely a residence into a symbol of an unspeakable past. As officials and locals attempted to restore order and rebuild the damaged structure, the building's grim legacy, marred by the evidence of torture and cruelty, proved impossible to remove. Even with the renovations and the passage of time, the stains of that night persisted. Every improvement only seemed to highlight the layers of history etched into the walls. Over the years, strange events began to be reported by those living near the mansion. Residents mentioned eerie sounds on quiet nights, voices in the dark, and persistent whispers that could not be easily explained. Visitors to the mansion, drawn by both curiosity and the lure of the paranormal, would sometimes feel as though unseen hands brushed lightly against their skin while walking through the rooms. Certain areas of the house, especially around the attic where the horrors had been unveiled, were said to be where to keep the weight of every cry and every instance of suffering that had taken place there. What's more, local lore developed details about hidden rooms and secret passages that were never marked on any official plans for the home. Some said that these areas, too, held remnants of confinement and cruelty once inflicted on the enslaved individuals. While the primary evidence lay in the attic, rumors spread that more rooms concealed darker secrets, rooms that were never meant to be found by eyes outside the household or officials enforcing the law. The mansion's location on Royal Street placed it in the heart of a city known for its rich cultural tapestry, a city where beauty and sorrow often share the same space. Yet none of the elegant facades of nearby homes and public buildings could compare to the chilling notoriety of the LaLaurie mansion. As stories of the horror spread across New Orleans, the house quickly became a rallying point for those determined to confront a part of history that many wished to forget. Public outcry transformed the building into not just a physical landmark, but a moral one, a constant reminder that cruelty can hide behind finely decorated walls and within the social elite's elegant gatherings. In subsequent years, the mansion has become a popular stop on paranormal tours. Guides who recount the events of that fateful October night in straightforward language detail each terrible detail without hyperbole. They explain how a simple fire revealed a hidden tale of cruelty and how the city's reaction forced a brief moment of reckoning with the dark aspects of its own past. Visitors from across the globe now aim to see the very spot where meticulously concealed horrors were brought to light, hoping to catch even the faintest whisper of the past that might still linger in the cold, shadowed corridors. Today, as people stand before 1140 Royal Street, they face not only an old mansion, but a narrative of enduring suffering, a narrative that once entwined the lives of many, from the vulnerable enslaved to the elusive socialite who escaped the hardship of her own making. More than just a historical record, the mansion at 1140 Royal Street challenges every visitor to reckon with a time when cruelty was hidden behind wealth and prestige. It is a silent yet powerful assertion that the truth, no matter how deeply buried, will eventually be revealed, like embers rising from ashes of a long-forgotten fire. If you enjoyed this story today on the Daily Pastcast, consider subscribing to our channel, like this video, and come back to the channel daily for more interesting stories like this of what happened on this day in history.